I've seen enough blood and death. I know what's coming.
Don't trust anybody. That's how you stay in the game. Bang, down, owned.
I guess you've done this before.
Don't encourage him.
There's a running gag in This Is 40, the new Judd Apatow comedy that's in cinemas now. It's a comedy about midlife crisis. The running gag at the centre of it is that the heroine of the piece keeps telling everybody that the birthday she's got coming up is 38, not 40. Because she's not 40, she's 38, because she is not willing to say goodbye to her youth. Now, this is particularly ironic for me because this year I turned 50. 40 seems unbelievably young to me. For a long time, people have been saying, when did Mark Kermode's hair go so grey? It came with being nearly 50. However, there is hope ahead. Thanks to the revival of the careers of stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone in a genre which has now been termed the Geriaction genre. Here's how Geriaction movies work. Basically, you get an old movie star who is far too old to be doing this kind of stuff. They do a bunch of action stuff, and then after each kind of explosion or fight, they complain a little bit about their hips. So, for example, at the moment we have the full Planet Hollywood bingo full house. So we have Sylvester Stallone in Bullet to the Head, we have Bruce Willis in A Good Day to Die Hard, and we have Arnold Schwarzenegger in Last Stand, which is less I'll be back than all me back.
How are you, Sheriff?
Old.
Now, although to the best of my knowledge, Geriaction is a newly minted word. I didn't come up with it, incidentally, but I absolutely love it and I am going to be using it. The idea of old duffers keeping their action spurs on is nothing new. I mean, look at the history of cinema. John Wayne was well into his 60s when he made Brannigan, the movie in which he comes to London to sort out London's crooks America style. Clint Eastwood still seemed like a fairly threatening presence in Gran Torino when he was well into his 70s. Al Pacino is still running around like a young man. He's well into his 70s. Harrison Ford was 64 when he did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And of course, Sean Connery wasn't above slapping on a toupee to get back into the Bond hot seat in Never Say Never Again. Now, there's been a lot of sneering in the press about so-called Geriaction movies, and I have to say I haven't been above the sneering. In fact, I keep repeating this story that in the 90s I interviewed Sylvester Stallone in a car park in Cannes when he'd gone all thespian and he'd made Copland, and he told me very clearly that he'd never do another Rocky or Rambo movie because to do so would be stupid because he was too old. But clearly the box office says otherwise. So, my take on it now is this. To all those guys who are out there still fighting the good fight, well into their 60s and 70s, I say well done. Well done. Good work. Put it on the card. It's going to be a bit cold outside. Good work.